Morning family. So I have just received a pre-order, and to be honest with you, I ordered it so long ago there was a point I was thinking, have I been scammed? I have no idea. It came through, the transaction even came through, it was all I think it was Chinese writing. I was like, what was going on? And it was a lot of money, but it was a lot less money than it is currently available for. It was a good pre-order discount that I got this for. So this is a new Anycubic M5 3D printer. So I have a 3D printer at the moment. I got it probably 2 years ago now, and it's only a small base one, so it's resin. So it's a resin 3D printer, so it's not FDM. Resin, great for miniatures, great for the fine detail, 0.5 millimeters per layer, versus your FDM, which are not quite as fine. You'll see the lines, great for doing the bigger construction stuff. This does have a bigger pull plate, however, than my original FDM. So let's have a look down at the table. Okay, so we have this here. Let's crack this open. So yeah, so this just arrived, and I literally I've cut the seal, and that's as much as I have done. So let's have a look. What do we get? So this, first of all, this is a big thing, and it's funny because it's like, oh, there's nothing there. So one of the big things about 3D printers, particularly with the resin, is the tendency. Is that right around for you guys? Yeah, there you go. The tendency that with resin, if you get spills over your the glass that the ultraviolet light is shining through to perform the setting of the resin on a layer by layer basis, makes a big mess. So this ships with a screen protector to go over the glass that your vat sits upon where you pour the resin in. So if there is a spillage, you've got that screen protector. In the worst case scenario, you can whip that off, put another screen protector on, and you're done. So this is a big deal, people. So yeah, that's great to see that. Happy joy. I love that. Why do we get more? Let's see more of these. For those guys creating packaging for your products, more smiley faces, please. How awesome is that? Love that. Okay, so let's crack this open and have a look and see what we have. Woo! Okay, this is big. I think if I try and pull this up, I'm definitely going to hit the camera. So let's see if I can. Oh, I feel like I've got a fairground goldfish. Oh, and there's a box. So there's some nice corner protections in there. Here it is. Okay. Well packaged. It's always good to see, particularly for electronics. The top covering off. So with the idea of these, for those who haven't had a resin printer before, for the box, I seem to have had a visitor of a wasp. So this is an ultraviolet protection screen system. So you put this over the top and it gives a level of ultraviolet protection. For my 3D printer, I actually have a black cover now, so where I'm in my new office space, it's a lot brighter than where I used to be in the house. So this just helps to, this combined with that blackout screen just helps to give it that extra resistance against the resin setting. I'm distracted now by a flipping wasp. Helps to give a little bit more resistance against the resin setting from the sunlight, just where I've got sort of the doors open now in the office space. So I'm just going to, in fact, open another door. This wasp has decided to, there we go, right, a bit more bright light there. That is gone. Good. So what else do we have? So we have, again, lots of protection. Go on the floor. We have the build plate. One of the nice things about this build plate, so this is a protective film layer, and it is textured, this build plate. So extra security of your prints sticking to the build plate. And look at the size of that. I mean, that's good. I mean, I think it's about 10 centimeters, is that? I think, I happen to have a ruler next to me and I can measure that for you guys. There we go. So no, so is that about 10 inches, 9 inches? Okay, there we go. So there's your build size there then. So yes, you get a good 20 plus centimeter build size across there. And then you've got 13, 14 centimeters across that way. So you've got sort of 5-inch by 9-inch build plate. And you'll notice the big thing here again, folks, is we have no screws. That is a one-piece build plate that attaches straight to the printer. It is auto leveling. Again, another common issue with, particularly with the resin prints, with the VATs, and I think even with FDM printers, is if you're not completely level, you do have, it does have a tendency to impact the prints, and can create those failures, which you don't want, because it's a waste of resin, it's a waste of FDM. We have a box of components. I'll dig into that in a moment. We have the VAT tray. Look at the size of that. It is huge. Let's get the it comes, of course, with the FDM, the FEP, sorry, FDM? No, sorry, the FEP pre-installed. So let's have a look. So this VAT is measuring out at nearly 10 inches across there, and coming in about 6.5 inches there. The depth of this VAT tray then, let's have a look. So you've got a good 1.5 inches, nearly 2 inches on there. So you're talking nearly 5 centimeters depth, and in centimeters then across the car. So we've got about 26.5 centimeters by around 18 centimeters. That is a big VAT, people. And again, one of the other things that comes featured with this printer is auto detection on how full your VAT tray is and whether you have sufficient resin in the reservoir in order to complete the print. So it automatically gives you that detection. If it runs out of resin, it will detect it, it will pause, give you the opportunity to put more resin in, and then continue if you just press play, and it will continue with the print. Again, fantastic additional features that come with this. And here we got just that one giant screw. What is this? Am I just spinning for days? Oh no, there we go. Yep, so it does come off. So somehow that build plate, oh right, yeah, so literally just slides straight onto there. Am I about there? Yeah, there we go. And you tighten it up, and that's it, ready to go. Wow, fantastic. So much less messing, faffing about with those blinking twisty screw things that, oh no, the amount of times I've had to get pliers on them just to untighten. So yeah, no, really liking that. Excellent. Okay, so we have then at the back of the printer itself then, so we've got the on and off switch, space for the cable, we've got a vent for the fan that will be blowing out there, the USB feed then for when you're plugging in your STL files, your 3D designs, that will be on the right hand side. So the same as it is now for my current smaller printer. There we go. So this is the new Photon Mono M5s, and you've got a nice size screen on here, measuring in at 9.5 by 5.5 centimeters, or 3.5 by 2 inches. So yeah, that is a really nice piece of kit, and really looking forward to a lot less failed prints. Yeah, just particularly for me, the larger prints. The original, very first 3D printer I purchased was very small. I thought, do you know what? It was like £200. Let's get something rather than nothing. Let's have a bash. Let's have a play. And yeah, I mean, I have been absolutely loving the experience of having a 3D printer. They are so cheap nowadays, folks. If you've not ventured into it, I can highly recommend it. They are getting better. The resin can be a little more cumbersome in terms of disposal, in terms of odor, so there are definitely things to be aware of, and like I say, the exposure to sunlight absolutely can have an impact. FDM, however, are much better for if you've got those bigger prints that you want to print in, so things like your terrain, those if you've got maybe sort of cosplay stuff that you want to be printing, and actually that finer detail isn't so much of an issue, then go down the FDM route. I'd love to have both, and at some point may in the future have both. Definitely want to, but for now I've got a resin. I'm happy with the resin. I like being able to print the additional components for actual gameplay, like like I say, the minis and stuff like that, getting that finer detail, so they're great. So let's have a dig in what else is included. So you get some gloves, you get a USB stick, some cleaner for wiping, a scraper for when your prints are adhering to that base plate. I have got on my current 3D printer a metallic and flipple, take-offable, what kind of word is that? A removable, there you go, that's a better word. Take-offable, a removable build plate. So you stick a adhesive magnet on one side that goes straight onto your build plate, and then you get a removable steel plate that's quite flexible, and that's quite handy and nice, because then you can just bend it, and your prints will tend to pop off, so you don't get the issue of having to scrape things off. I've heard quite a number, and so even recently looking at reviews of different resins, and they talk about builds just really adhering to the build plates. So again, we'll see how this works with this new texture. Interesting to see how that works. I've got some more resin arriving this afternoon with good reviews, so we'll see how that is. So of course we've got the power brick, as it were, and the cable to get that powered up. You get a proper flipping heck, proper scraper. Why do I feel concerned? Get a thank you for my purchase thing, warranty perhaps. You get a mask, okay, and of course some filters for when you're then having to drain the resin out of the vat. So you can filter it if and when you do have a failed print in particular, or you're just switching out from one resin to another. You don't want to mix resins. They'll tend to be different manufacturers who use different chemicals. You don't be mixing those things. But that's it, folks. That's my new 3D printer, and yeah, I'll get that set up, get that running, and I'll share some of the results with you. So thanks for watching. Hope some of you found this useful and enjoyed a little banter there. And yeah, hopefully see you back at the table soon for more content, more gaming content. Have a look at some 3D prints. Thanks for watching.